So, this is going to be my review of Oni Press's KaijuMax, Season 1, Terror and Respect. Now, KaijuMax is a comic I've been wanting to read for a while, and I managed to get the first volume for $5 at a convention I was at a couple weeks ago. And yeah, so I wanted to do my review on this, because I know I got a lot of kaiju fans on here, and if you're looking for kaiju stuff, if you're looking for cool kaiju content, yeah, this is the place for you. This comic is written and drawn by Zander Cannon, and I gotta say, Zander Cannon knows his shit. He knows his kaiju stuff, because there's even though they don't directly say it, there are so many references to so many tokusatsu stuff in here, it'll make your head spin. Like, we got references to Ultraman, Godzilla, Mobile Suit Gundam, we've got, references to American monsters, we've got references to all that. And they're so not, like, in your face, either. Those references aren't in your face, nor do these references are what make this comic, what it is. This comic holds up on its own, even without the references, but it really does play along with the story, and these references feel natural, because they feel a part of the universe. Now, KaijuMax, the story, is about a kaiju named Electrogore. And Electrogore has been arrested, and he's sent to KaijuMax, which is, imagine Monster Island if it was like a Supermax prison. If KaijuMax was like a Supermax prison for all the monsters. And these guards can actually turn themselves into Ultraman-esque characters to detain monsters who get out of line. So yes, Electrogore, after protecting his kids, Electrogore, who's trying to feed his children, is sentenced to KaijuMax, and now his whole thing is that he wants to find out if his kids are okay or not, and along the way he discovers the ins and outs of KaijuMax. Now, KaijuMax is full of monsters in here that you're going to either really like or really hate. And I don't mean like, oh, these characters suck. It's more like, man, Zander Cannon really knows how to write a really despicable character. And it makes it all the more exciting when you watch them, like, get hurt or possibly killed. And he writes a lot of characters that you really root for. A lot of underdog characters that you really root for or really feel a lot of sympathy towards. Especially Electrogore. It's just a dude who's trying to, raise his kids, and the government doesn't give a shit. And the guards don't give a shit. In fact, they want to force Electrogore to tell him where his kids are, so they can hunt them down, or even sentence them to KaijuMax, or kill them on the spot. That's the interesting thing about it. This is very much like a giant monster version of like Oz or the Shawshank Redemption, because this does play out like a prison drama. Like, you've got corrupt guards working with inmates. You've got inmates working in crews. You even got monsters who have their own lingo. Like, the monsters have their own lingo in here. Like, you've got Goj, like, instead of Godzilla, obviously to Gojira, but it's like, oh, Goj, damn it, or oh my Goj, or something like that. You've also got Megafauna, which is slang for motherfucker for the kaiju, like, Megafauna, I will stomp your ass. And all the monsters come from either, like, you've got the Zukis, who are, like, who are like, kaiju from different parts of the world. You've got you've got Crypts, who are cryptids from American monsters. You've got the Japanese monsters. You've got different groups of monsters from across the world, all in here, like prison gangs. The Japanese monsters are run by Ape Whale, and Ape Whale, in and of himself, is a reference to Godzilla. Ape Whale, because for those who are not in the know, Godzilla's name in Japanese, Gojira, means gorilla whale. And Ape Whale is literally a gorilla whale. And he actually has a son named Woofy, who's a reference to Minya. And man, what happens in that storyline is really kind of tragic. It does really put the whole... Let's just say it turns the whole little kid, if you really hated Godzilla's Revenge as a true Godzilla fan, you're really going to get fucked up from that storyline. This is really going to fuck up Godzilla's Revenge. Like, imagine if that was a horror story. I don't want to spoil anything further with that, because that storyline you need to read for yourself. There's also other monsters in here who have their own little stories, like Mechazon, who is a Mechagodzilla parody, who renounced violence after losing to his monster Zon. And Zon is a real piece of shit. I can't wait for you guys, if you want to read this book, to go read that book and read about Zon. That motherfucker is a real piece of shit. We've also got other guards in here named Gupta. Gupta is if you want to talk about real piece of shit, that guy is the epitome of piece of shit. Because not only is he selling drugs off to, gambling with the kaiju on the moon, and selling drugs to the kaiju, the space kaiju, but he's also, like, giving them women to eat, virgins specifically to eat, so they can get high. Yeah, certain things there are certain elements in here who do get the monsters high, like, weed and marijuana for humans. Yeah. The artwork in here does look cartoony. It does have that kind of cartoony, manga feel, but make no mistake, this comic is not for kids. Yeah, this is in no way a kid's comic. This comic is a flat-out, bloody, this comic gets bloody, there's swearing in here, there's, reference to a lot of sex. This is for mature readers, guys, I'm gonna be straight with you. This is for straight up adults-only comic. But I think that kind of adds to it, is that the violence in here with the cartoony artwork does kind of make a neat little contrast of, like, oh, it's all bright and Showa-esque. Oh, that guy got shanked. Never mind. There's also one scene where they're pulling a giant squid shank out of a monster's butthole. Just wanted to forewarn you on that one, because that was a little, yeah, that was a thing that happened in the comic. Like, there's a total cavity search, and they show you everything. So again, I have to stress, this comic is not for the, not for the little ones. Even though it all looks bright and happy, no, this is a straight-up prison drama with giant monsters. That's the major point of this, that it is a straight-up kaiju story with, what was I gonna say? It's a straight-up prison story with kaiju in it. That's the big takeaway in this little storyline. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I've been meaning to read this, and actually there are other novels out now. I think, and it's funny too, because the trades are treated like seasons to a show. And I believe they're on book 4, or is it called season 4 by now? So I really want to look for the other novels and read this, because this got me hooked from the first few pages. I was like, dude, I am all in for this comic. I'm always happy to see new kaiju stuff. All the characters are really the characters you like are really likable, and the monsters you really want to hate are really fucking detestable, and and the humans are really detestable in here too. You've also got the Warden's son, which is a brief little storyline, and he's got an interesting little thing going on, and I can't wait to see how that's going to play out in the comic. You also get some other stuff that sets up to other moments in the later seasons, which I'm really looking forward to. I really want to try to collect this comic series ASAP, because this is really frickin' good, guys. I gotta be straight with you. This is really frickin' good. So yeah, if you guys are interested, the first volume, I don't know, I can't speak for the prices on the other comics. I got this for $5, but if you guys want to find it in trade, the trade is actually is $9.99, so about $10. You're not really spending a lot if you're interested, and I know it's kind of an image thing where it's like, oh, $9.99, the first volume gets you. So I don't know about the other volumes if they're a little more expensive, but the first volume, and keep in mind, this is not Image, this is Oni Press. This comic is, the first volume at least, is $9.99, so you can just drop $10, read it for yourself and see what you like, and if you're interested, just keep going on more, going for more. So yeah, I highly recommend KaijuMax. If you're a kaiju fan, go check out this comic. I cannot stress this enough. KaijuMax is just a fun little treat full of, great storylines, great little references to other stuff. It feels like its own universe while still feeling like, it has elements in here of other monster stuff and other tokusatsu stuff you've had in the past. It is pretty much Godzilla meets Shawshank Redemption. Or Oz, that's actually the better. It's Godzilla meets the prison drama Oz. So yeah, there you go, guys. There's my review for it. And if you've read KaijuMax, comment below, let me know what you think of it. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.